All right, it's time to cut out a window for your big final foil. Now your final window is supposed to be 6 inches by 3 inches, but your final foil is bigger than that so that you can tape it onto the back. See, this person taped theirs on the back. The final foil is 7 inches by 4 inches. So don't use your final foil as a tracer for where your window is going. If you're interested in a tracer, I would make one out of an old folder or a piece of construction paper, and you can measure on the fold 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, cut it out, and then it becomes a 3 by 6 window to help you find a good spot for your textures. Make sure you don't just have one texture in your window. Like that would maybe not be a good spot for my window because I only have one texture in there. That would be okay. And I would be careful not to line up the edge of your window with your sections. You don't want one texture to stop at your window and a different one to start. So choose your foil window wisely. You can have it smack dab in the middle if you want to. Or maybe you want to put it off center. Let's say I like this spot. I can use my viewfinder, my stencil, to trace and cut. But maybe you don't have a tracer. You can simply, actually I'm going to make a little line on there where my fold is. Okay, where do I want to fold it? Let's fold it in half. And this is going to be a crooked fold because my window is going to be off-centered. Now I want to get my ruler out and measure. Okay, 3 inches from my fold, 3 inches over, and it should go back 3 inches. So that's what I want to cut out. And whatever is inside this window is what's going to be on your final foil. I cut this out earlier in class, so I have other things coming open. Right. So that's what's going to be on my final foil because that's my window. So now I can get my final foil and I can flip my paper over and tape it onto the back. You can use clear tape, masking tape, whatever you have. Tape that. Tape that. You don't want your final foil window moving around once you start putting your textures on there because you want them to line up. Now there's 2 ways to get your textures onto your final window. You can push my lead in. You can just continue your lines, and every time a line ends, it continues onto the foil. That's one way to do it. Or you can trace. You can put that back on, and you can push down kind of firmly, and it will make marks where your textures go to. And you just want to make sure all your edges line up with the textures on your final foil. And don't forget to put something soft underneath, maybe a mouse pad or a folder, so the foil has a place to squish down to. And then make sure you push all the foil so that you have your textures continuing, all your lines continue, and all your foil gets changed.